And hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whenever you are watching this podcast. This is the She-Hulk After Show. I am your host, Jason. Yes, I have been trusted with hosting duties.
Yay!
How foolish they are. So let me introduce the rest of our panel. To my left, my right. Hold on. There we go. To my right, we have Rick. To my left, we have very mellow, very blue for some reason, which totally goes with this show, by the way. Relaxed Dove.
Hello, I'm at peace.
Yes.
How nice.
Namaste.
For your
Namaste. To my bottom right, we've got Beezus, attorney at dance.
That's awesome.
Namaste.
Thank you.
And then to my bottom left, of course, Louis R. Brandbull.
And
whichever.
and we have a special guest.
Oh dear.
Worf.
Morph. Welcome, Morph. Hello. It's so good you could be here on time. Thank you.
One of the X-Men.
We have a franchise.
We have thoughts. We have multiple thoughts about this week's episode of She-Hulk.
And
Titled, I don't remember. What was it titled? I'm doing such a good job as host today.
hey, you're fired. You're fired. That's it.
Goodness.
All right. So this episode was
This was the retreat.
the retreat. Yes,
The retreat.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. All retreat, no surrender. I really...
Never give up.
Yeah. So do we have an official synopsis of this episode, or should we just make one up?
Well, we saw that in this episode, we left off with Jen Walters feeling very excited and looking forward to a possible future with a very sexy gentleman named Josh. And
Never trust the Joshes.
never trusted Josh, not once in my life. No, I've worked for Josh. I regret it. But this Josh, who looked like he had good intentions, but I think we, the viewers, knew that there were ulterior motives.
Mhm.
Unlike our host, who's doing a great job, Jason, he does ghost. Josh ghosts.
Oh, so scummy. So scummy.
And while Jen just, trying to deal with her emotions in this possible failed relationship, she also has a job that she has to do and finds herself traveling to Blonsky's new retreat, where he has apparently gathered a bunch of other powered folks to deal with life as a powered individual. And I think that's as fair as a synopsis as I can give.
That's about as accurate as it can get. Of course, we can later on, whenever we talk about the episode, we can just discuss: is it a cult or is it not? Do we have it? Do we have a superhero cult or no? Mom is here.
Mom's
Mom.
here.
Hey, Mom.
Hey.
That is a fair question. Stay away from Blonsky.
Stay away from
Yeah.
Blonsky. Yes. He's gonna tell his followers to hop on a comet at some point and then start passing out the Kool-Aid.
Mhm.
But would
Or
Kool-Aid work on Manbull? That's the real question.
that is the real question.
And is Blade Light actually a vampire? I don't know.
Oh, how can
No.
you say that about Saracen, who is clearly his own character?
Of course he is. Of course, Saracen is his own character.
Vampire behind you.
Just like Tab is nothing like Pepsi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
guys.
Hello.
Hey.
I don't know who you are, but I love you.
He's a vampire. Yeah, that's right. He's an immortal vampire.
Oh. See, now this is where I'm kind of at a disadvantage because I love the Marvel movies. I love the Marvel TV shows, but I know next to nothing about Marvel characters. So you guys are going to have to clue me in on who these obscure characters are, because I can tell you I loved every single one of them. And now I want to know who else it is.
It's a cult.
I
Yeah,
can tell you
Yes,
right
I think it's a
now,
cult.
Like Rick might be able to do better than me. Beezus might be able to do better than me. Morph might be able to do better than me because these characters are so obscure.
Yeah, I have to tap out on this one, and I have a massive comic book collection and a quite extensive She-Hulk collection, and I have these guys are like, whoa.
I'm a DC boy. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I know. I
My
will
God,
leave.
my
I
God,
will leave.
my God, my God.
I have a Marvel trading card somewhere of Saracen
Oh,
and El Aguilar. I don't want to jump too much into him because there's not much to say.
Mhm.
But I was just happy to see him because over here in the US, it's Latin Heritage Month.
Oh,
And
yes.
yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
yeah,
I will
yeah.
take whatever I can get. So El
There you go.
Aguilar.
All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And as we're talking about Latin Heritage Month, I just want to remind people that I'm not Puerto Rican. I am actually Portuguese and black.
You're
so-
not Puerto Rican?
No, everybody thinks I am.
How long has this been going on?
No, it's just me
I don't
and
even
Rick
know
who
you
are Puerto
anymore.
Rican.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Clearly, I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Rick's
With
Puerto
this
Rican.
accent. With this
Me and
accent. Yeah,
Me
yeah.
and Ricardo from
I knew it the whole
Australia.
time. I knew it.
I knew. I thought you were. As soon as I saw that name, it's like,
I
yeah,
was
all right.
like,
Yeah,
Puerto
Ricky
Rican.
Ricardo.
Puerto
Stay
Rican,
focused,
yeah, totally.
Let's
Easy,
stay
Totally.
focused.
easy.
Yeah.
Next.
All right.
Beezus, special guest. Let us know what you think of the episode.
Yo, I thought this was by far the funniest episode to date, man.
Yeah.
I was in stitches. Josh, like we said, Josh is like, he was like textbook scumbag, right? Like he played the
Oh,
game.
gosh.
He played the game the way you're supposed to play it, you know? Get her, bag her, take her home, get up out of there, don't say anything else.
This is me cringing right now. I'm sorry.
Mm.
Hey man, look,
Kind of
Dave,
take time
hate the player,
enjoying.
don't hate the game. He played it right. I'm not even mad at him. He had the instruction manual. He was going in with it, right?
Yeah.
But man, it was fun. It was fun. Like we said, Hispanic Heritage Month. We got our guy. Also, he's a mutant. Wait a second, 2-for-1 special.
Yeah.
Look at
They're,
that.
they're slowly dropping stuff on us that we're gonna see later. I like what they're doing with these obscure characters. They're just sliding them in on us and just giving it to us in a fun way, in a different way. So it keeps it fresh, and I'm pretty hyped. I'm excited about this show, man. I love it.
All right.
Whoa.
Beezus, thank you so much. Rick, what about you? What was your take on this episode?
Mate, if you guys haven't figured it out, all the fanboys out there that haven't figured it out in the last probably 6 episodes, She-Hulk is not a narrative-driven show, guys. So it is a character-driven show, and this is what people keep forgetting about. I really enjoyed this episode. There was so much to unpack, and I just loved how we saw a bit of Blonsky come back and what he's been doing, which was kind of weird with a few things that he said, which kind of didn't make sense. So I kind of thinks he's up to something. I love there was a lot of like little hidden things in the background, especially in one of the scenes, just little touches which they make really, really good. Like, so in one of the scenes when Blonsky's doing that group talk, there's actually a little poster behind him that is got the word abomination and namaste combined together. Abominate, which was pretty so little touches like that. I thought it was great. So
I honestly did not even pick up on that till you mentioned it. 'Cause
No,
I was
you
reading
didn't.
that thinking,
Oh,
okay,
wow.
Now I have to
I'm
go back.
slow. I'm slow, but I catch up. All right.
No, I'm with
Yeah.
you, Jason. I didn't catch that either. I'm watching it again now.
watch
Thank
it
you.
again, you'll see it. You're
Relax Dove over there looking like some kind of jazz album cover. What do you
Getting his Kenny G on over there.
That's Kenny
it-
G's.
Kenny G's. I thought it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of great moments that are going to be memorable from go forward that we can even reference, like the Matador and the bull. I thought that was just like a very obvious reference. And he was like, wait, just so you know, I am not a Matador. And I thought that was so much fun because he's fighting a bull.
Swashbuckler.
I am a swashbuckler.
Yes,
Yes. But he did experiment with matadoring in college.
Right,
People-
right.
he did.
College is a
Experiment
time
with
for
things in college.
experimenting.
Yeah, it is. It is. But oh my god, it was so much fun. I love the parole officer calling up She-Hulk. It was like, I think it would just be better if you went with me. Yeah, and it's like,
Smart man.
yeah,
Smart
I would.
man. We always
You think I
complain
wouldn't
about
do that?
we always complain about stupid people in horror movies, and let's be perfectly honest. This guy was either going to be in an episode of She-Hulk or in the beginning of a horror movie.
Yep,
Yeah.
He chose
Exactly.
correctly.
he did.
He chose
He
correctly.
did. He did. And it was just fun. And we've got 2 special twists. I know we have our own section for that, but there's one thing that I got to bring up because I do this. I put my ear to the streets and everybody's talking about it. Yeah, I know. I do that. And everybody's talking about what we could possibly get. Now, this could be a big spoiler for folks, but they're saying that her assistant, maybe if you look at this star here on her necklace, she might be a witch. A witch burner! And that may be a connection to Agatha Harkness. And that's an upcoming show on the Disney Plus universe. So just wanted to put that out there. That's the big chatter on the internet of people that don't come. Yeah, that don't come on.
I'm just going to say, do you remember when Mephisto was going to show up any episode?
Yeah. You saw that tree? That tree was Mephisto.
The limbs formed an M. Mephisto confirmed.
Mephisto confirmed.
He's-
Exactly.
All right. Morph, give us your thoughts.
Well, I don't know what you guys are talking about because, as we all know, Mephisto wasn't this. He was the Yurt, right?
Sure.
He could have
I
been.
mean, I thought the Sweat Hut was Mephisto, right?
Is it just me, or does it appear
No.
like he's morphing right now?
That's why he's morphed. Yeah,
Definitely
Yeah.
morphing.
he's morphing. It's morphing time.
Oh, there you go. He's back. There he is.
There it.
Hey, just because I broke into the house does not mean I get kicked out of the show.
You know what it is? I think he's using old school dial-up, and we're all on high-speed internet.
But you know the whole.
Oh my god!
But at least he's
like
smiling.
The detractors of this show, anyway.
At least he's smiling.
All right, can you
Icky
see,
girl
can
drama.
you see me on here?
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
You got kind of a Max Headroom thing going on right now.
I was like watching an episode of the Patch Warburton Tick.
And I like how his background is still my place.
It's so trippy.
Yeah.
Billy, your connection seems a little weak.
They're dodgy.
You okay?
Yes.
He must be.
All right.
Nice.
I think he's in the cult with
Just tell us what you thought of the show, man.
I said it was like a Tick. The Patch Warburton one, not the Amazon one.
I think I
Okay.
heard the tick.
Yeah.
I say,
I think he's in the Blonsky retreat because he's got no Wi-Fi.
He's got no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
No.
That's what he's doing because he's always got something tricky up his sleeve. So,
Well, we'll see.
Sorry,
We'll see if
Morph.
your connection improves. In the meantime, I'm going to give my thoughts. That's what everybody's been waiting for.
Yeah.
I was just saying before we were all together here that I actually enjoyed this episode more the second time than I did the first time, because the first time I watched it, I was unimpressed and I was just kind of like, yeah, that was just a big whole nothing burger. But the second time I watched it, I think I just I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. It came to my senses that, She-Hulk has always been kind of a Marvel slice of life show. What is everyday life to these, larger than life superheroes? And in this case, just happens to be somebody who's got superpowers who just wants a regular job. And I think we're seeing every day that that's going to be more and more impossible every day. And so with that, locked in my head, like it should have been at the beginning, and as it should be in a lot of people's heads, if you ask me, I found myself enjoying the show a lot more. And I'm enjoying the fact that it is a series of slice of lives held together by the very thinnest of threads that just keeps popping up when you least expect it. And I'm sure that everybody's going to be expecting something with Josh and the stolen She-Hulk blood in the next episode. And they'll probably do something completely non sequitur that will make everyone angry. And I'm starting to live for that, especially when she pops up at the very beginning of the episode and saying, I know this is happening in a very inconvenient time, but
Yeah.
I love that because that's life. So yes, I enjoyed it a lot more in the second time than I did the first.
Morph, I think I see you blinking. Are you actually here or are you in my condo?
he's
Blink twice.
I am not.
Yeah,
doing
but
that. I might have gotten some of your stash, according to your mom.
All I heard was your mom, so I'm assuming that was not mine.
Well, remember, you know what it is? He knows women so well that
Oh yes.
No. That is a thread that does not need to come back.
Do not ghost. Do not ghost your rendezvous.
yes.
At least stay for breakfast, please.
Exactly.
Show them that respect. Are we ready to move on to references?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do
All right.
that. 'cause
Let's
there's
do
so
references.
References.
I love the
So
music. That was great.
She-Hulk references. This is where I have to be educated because, again, I'm not a Marvel boy. I'm a DC boy, even though I'm a big fan of the MCU, and sometimes I would just rather not talk about the DCEU. So, who wants to take the references? Who's our Marvel expert here?
Well, Joe has the pictures, so I'm gonna let him pick whatever picture he wants to do
Okay.
first. We're starting out with Porcupine.
Yeah.
Porcupine. I'm sorry. Whenever he took off that mask, I was just kind of like, "Aw."
Yeah, he didn't look threatening at all.
He just looked like the biggest teddy bear, like such a wholesome person. And the way he smiled, I was just like, "Stop making fun of his smell. Just be happy he's here."
When was the last time you watched? What?
A bit ashy. Yeah.
Am I ashy? Yeah.
That was his concern.
Yeah.
I'm glad Saracen was there to actually be able to answer that question because I'm not sure if anyone else would have been able to. But who was that you just showed? You just showed Aguilar again? Aguilar.
Yeah, swashbuckler.
I like the updated costume because I like the fact they kept.
He looks a lot
Oh,
better.
you're going so fast, Joe.
There's Manbull.
Slow down. So we brought up Aguilar. I keep saying Aguilar because I'm thinking of a WWE wrestler from like the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Aguilar or the Eagle. I believe, I could be wrong, he may have had some training with the 50 State Initiative. There's a lot of C-list heroes that got kind of smushed together in little state factions. I'm not sure what faction he was in. But it was nice seeing El Aguila there.
Yeah.
And they gave him like, a little relationship. And I thought that was cute. And,
Yeah.
and him and Manbull, the Matador looking guy and the bull, and it was adorable.
Yeah.
But
It
it,
was
it
awesome.
did smack of codependency, though.
It did. But that's what therapy is for.
Yeah.
That said, I don't know, Rick. I don't know if you're a Manbull aficionado.
Nah, not a massive Manbull. I know he was. He did go up against Daredevil quite a bit in the comics, so there's that link to him and Daredevil. Oh, I just knocked my microphone. So,
So Daredevil's going to be on next week. Woo! No.
he was supposed to be on this
Confirmed.
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 My question to the group, anybody who wants to jump in on this is fine with me. But how does it feel? How do you feel? I'm someone who likes a lot of C-list heroes, and seeing them represented in a jokey manner might affect you negatively. So Rick, when you saw Manbull, was that did you feel like that was the Manbull we should have got?
Taking
Did
the piss.
Manbull deserve better?
No, I liked it. I think it's a different take because not everyone is going to understand that character. You know what I mean? So I can just. This is the way that the MCU deal with it. You know what I mean? It's their take on that character. They don't have to be 100% accurate on the comics. You know what I mean? So this is just their take on it, and I liked it. And I think it worked well in this episode. Do we really want to see a rampaging bull going around fighting Daredevil? Maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe in the Daredevil show.
Maybe. Well, that's right, in the Daredevil show. But
Yeah. Imagine they bring him back for Daredevil, and it's like, oh, okay.
He feels like
He looks
an
completely
Uber
different.
Eats guy or something like that.
Oh man.
But that's a good point. That's a good point because I feel that same way with our friend the Swashbuckler. Kind of like how they played with his duality, how he was because in the comics he pretended to be a matador to kind of hide the fact that he was a mutant. So the fact that they kind of played with that in this episode was really pretty cool, and it kind of alluded to his mutant powers with the bioelectricity and all of that.
Right.
just kind of flashing it off, and Blonsky's like, "Hey man, chill out with that shit, man. What are you doing?" So
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're bringing these C-listers in and just kind of just throwing them in there like, oh look, here's this guy. You probably don't know who he is, but it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool.
I enjoy watching the C-list villains because in a way, She-Hulk kind of reminds me of the Batman Brave and the Bold show. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
How it would be Batman and then they'd bring in some obscure hero like, Buona Beast or Plastic Man or something like that. And it would just be the two playing off of each other. And, you'd get introduced to these characters. And yeah, most of the time they were a joke. John DiMaggio, the voice of Bender, was Aquaman. And I will maintain today that Batman Brave and the Bold has the best interpretation of Aquaman ever. Is Billy okay?
I don't know, Billy, how are you?
Billy, he's trapped in Joe's room.
Oh, man. Somebody's put him in the Phantom Zone or something.
He went escape room, Joe's condo. Oh, his mouth's moving, but we're not getting anything.
We could read his lips if they would move more frequently.
Maybe text.
Hey, our friend Jason, behind the scenes guy. Haha, so true. Space was Billy tripping balls. That's some edibles, perhaps. Oh man.
I really feel
I
bad.
don't know
I
what
wanted
kind
him
of
to be
edibles
able to
would do
join in the
that.
conversation.
Yeah.
Billy tripping balls.
I feel bad because we can't hear what he's saying.
No.
Sorry.
All
All
right.
right. Who else? What else?
I guess we're moving
Who else
on.
is
We're
going
moving on.
What is this?
We're moving on. Come on,
I
guys.
don't
Who
know,
else?
I don't know what reference that was, Joe.
That was supposed to be early when I said that the guy. It was a good shot of the guy who was like, "Yo, can you come with me to deal with Abomination?"
Yeah, you don't go over that. I didn't see one electric fence at all when they were walking around.
No, there was nothing like. No.
There's something funny
So
going
what is
on.
he saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
There's
definitely
something funny going on with Blonsky. I mean, I would be perfectly fine if he was like a real hack guru. I'd be fine with that. But part of me is also saying that there's some shenanigans going on that, he's still part of the government, or even, this whole thing is a scam, or it is a cult. Who knows?
Am I wrong? Am I wrong for wanting him to be 100% authentic?
No, you're not, because he's so campy wonderful right now. I enjoy
really,
the guy.
I don't know if this is going to be his last MCU appearance. I kind of feel like because the old Hulk movies never really got to play in the MCU, even though it was in the MCU. I kind of feel like if this is the last we see of Blonsky and Abomination, and I don't think it is, but if it is, I'm okay with this being his farewell. Like, I thought this was fun, and I kind of hope he's really just, if we do see him again, he's still operating his day spa for superheroes.
Great brownies.
Yeah, it would be fine with me because is he working?
Sort of.
Okay. It would be fine with me too because Marvel's infamous for just killing off their villains, and to see one genuinely rehabilitated and living a fairly balanced, if a little cultish life, would be a pleasant change. So
Yeah.
I agree. Hold on. Morph, can you speak? Everyone just shut up and let Morph talk.
Yes, I'm here. I hope I can be heard.
He sounds like Stephen Hawking.
Oh, Billy.
What did you think of the show, Billy?
I felt it was a good trip.
This is a good trip.
Yes, it is. Do you have
Do you have any feelings about
any further thoughts?
The listeners that have
Good. I feel like I'm trying to communicate from the other side. I'm glad I can communicate. I can make it through.
Carol Ann, can you hear us, Carol Ann? Don't go into the light, Carol.
I'm literally crying here. I'm laughing so
I appreciate you so
I got
much.
some
Billy.
great edibles.
I feel bad
Joe.
because your signal's bad, but on the other hand, this is comedy gold.
Yeah, this is great. All right, well, he said something.
Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, can you put the picture of Saracen up?
Which one, Tim?
The vampire, the only vampire in this
Blade
show.
Light.
Oh, do we have? Oh, that one. There you go.
Oh, we got everybody there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought since we got everybody there, this is a nice opportunity to talk about not just Saracen, but also the Wrecker. Who we got to see,
yes.
From the Wrecking Crew.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting. You can take the picture down now, buddy. I like seeing Saracen because that's really like deep in like I had a Marvel trading card of Saracen, but I've never seen a comic he was in. Like he was a Punisher villain, to my knowledge, but like I don't own any issues in. I just know he exists because of the trading card. And so it was really cool being able to see him because I felt like that was such a unique reference that like not many are gonna catch because there's no toys of this character. There's no Halloween costume. There's Porcupine does look like a Christmas tree. I hope that
dead
does
Christmas-
get a Halloween
Christmas
costume.
tree.
Oh my god, that's great.
But Wrecker and the Wrecking Crew themselves, it's funny seeing them depicted the way they have been because they are consistently in the comics. They are consistently, they're never like the biggest players, but they're always there normally in like the first couple of issues of someone's comic to be we're tearing up the city, and then a new Avengers team forms right around them and kicks their butt. And
we lost Jason.
Wait.
No,
Right.
no.
There goes the host. Okay.
All right.
All right, Brandon,
now.
you're hosting now.
So I'm gonna shut up and just do host stuff.
And
Show's going off the rails.
Rick, let's start
Wow.
with Rick. We'll move on to Joe, then Beezus. Rick, what did you think of, I guess, the reformation of the Wrecker? We know that people don't buy Blonsky. Do we believe the Wrecker? Do we believe that he is reformed?
no.
That was a very no.
No, I don't believe it. There is just something in that group that Blonsky is forming and doing. We can see that. I don't know if it's going to be. We know the next 2 episodes are going to ramp up big time.
Yeah.
So we know. Obviously, we're going to see Daredevil. We know he's going to be in the last episode, but I reckon we're going to see Blonsky. He's going to go back to being Abomination. I reckon, and then something is going to happen in this group. I reckon they're all working together, and they're all working with Josh as well.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm
Yeah.
with you. I'm with
Okay.
you on that.
I'm with
I'm
you.
with
Yeah.
you 100%.
Very good. Yeah.
Joe, do
Yeah.
you agree?
Absolutely.
Can you elaborate more so Jason can understand what the question was? And
Guess who lost Wi-Fi again?
Nice.
Billy.
Nice.
Thank Billy.
No, Jason did. Billy definitely. I think that there is scheming. The question is the Wrecker reformed? Are these guys actually being reformed, or is there nefarious movements going on behind the scenes? And I believe that there are absolutely nefarious movements going on behind the scenes. I think that this guy got the blood as she was normal Jen and not as She-Hulk because nothing could pierce that skin, which means that got to be weird for David Otunga. Yeah, I'm bringing it back, baby. And I think that was part of the plan. They knew she was going to be defenseless. There was probably an opportunity to get her when she demorphed back into Jen, and they didn't need to because they were like, oh, forget about that guy. Delete his number. And there was a reason why they wanted her to delete the number, because that way, forget about it. Don't worry about that guy. Don't worry about it. Look, get him out of your mind, because that way when it comes to fruition, and I think this is going to lead into a big red machine later on, and if we're going to go on free for all after this, and once we hit free for all, I'll drop another nugget. But I really think that this is how they get the blood and create the Thunderbolts. So I pass the baton to you, Jason.
Well. No, hold on. We had an order. Beezus.
Oh yeah, Beezus. Sorry.
Beezy.
He got it.
Attorney dance. Is there
Right there.
anyone?
I mirror everything he just said because that's exactly where I was going to go with it.
Is there
With,
not one person in the circle we can trust?
No, I don't think so, man. I don't think so, because like we've all said, like I mean, this is literally how it goes. Like Intelligentsia was the organization responsible for the Red Hulk, right? So, and with that comes MODOK and Leader. So I think, like you said, there's definitely, man, there's too many just breadcrumbs, I call it. Too many breadcrumbs to just say, oh, well, you know, they're cool. Maybe this is like legit. No. This is definitely like a backdoor operation going on here. So I agree. I agree with everyone.
Red Hulk, Red, Mephisto confirmed.
Oh my God! There it is, Mephisto. There it
Billy, am I
is.
alone here? Is there
Okay.
someone you trust, Billy?
Trust no one.
Trust no one.
I trust Porcupine.
I think I might go with Red She-Hulk instead of Red Hulk.
Oh,
Could be a
interesting.
prototype. Could be a prototype that sets up something later.
I
mean,
did
yeah.
see someone comment, this is not a rumor. This is not anywhere. I have no reason to believe that this is happening. It was just someone's suggestion, because the rumor that I have seen was that Harrison Ford may be.
Oh, that was gonna drop that.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is just.
He's in talks.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's.
But someone who.
So are we in free for all now?
No. We're
Oh,
still.
okay.
We're jumping
Okay.
in there. It's coming up soon.
Okay.
But someone was saying that they believe the possibility that like it would be better if instead of bringing back Thunderbolt Ross, we got his daughter, and I believe
Betty?
she's played by Liv Tyler.
Yeah,
Could be
Betty.
wrong.
Yes.
Betty
Oh,
Ross.
yeah,
Yeah.
Betty Ross. Yeah.
So Liv Tyler would make a great She-Hulk, Red She-Hulk. So
and
I
it would
thought
make
that
things
would be-
very awkward with Bruce too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I like that. I like that.
Joe, you want to jump into this free for all?
All right, we'll jump into it.
All right, free for all. Here we go.
Free for all.
Free for all.
Yeah.
Rick, you want to start us out? It's a free for all, baby.
I did. I was going to send that picture through, but that's right, Joe. I'll send it through later. There was also another little reference, and in there you probably want to pick on it as well. When the truck came to pick him up at the end, right?
Oh, you
And
mean
on
the
name?
SWAT truck?
The tow truck. Tow truck.
Yeah, the tow truck. Yeah, that's what you guys call it, a tow truck. We call it tow truck here in Australia
on,
as
man.
well. Come on. Yeah. So that was just a little homage to Dan Slott, who was the writer of She-Hulk and Amazing Spider-Man and Silver Surfer and a whole lot more.
Mhm.
So that was like that little nod
Let
to
me
him.
piggyback on that.
Yeah,
on
go
that.
for it.
So the name on the truck was Slot, right?
Hmm.
The driver's name was Dan. His name
Oh,
tag said Dan.
Yeah.
His
Didn't
name
pick that
tag
up.
said Dan.
Yeah.
Did pick it
Nice.
up. Well
Yeah,
done.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
This tap, we there. We here.
That is awesome. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna have a look at that. That is awesome.
All right, so now that we're in the free for all, we got some comments that we're gonna throw up here,
Yes.
and I don't mean the puking kind. So Billy, since he can't really talk, nice seeing the obscure character. Hope Porcupine gets his comic treatment.
Thanks, Billy, for commenting.
Porcupine ends up with Spider-Woman, so that's an interesting connection.
Good
but
for him.
I doubt
He
Sony
gets
will
that
allow
suit
that.
dry cleaned, I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if it will be an action comedy next week.
Yeah, each
Mm.
week seems to be like a different theme. I think this one was
Action.
more of kind of like like the
It was a character episode, yeah.
Well, this
Yeah.
was more. This is more, and looking at it on the side of like what women and I guess and men go through dating in their 30s. Like,
What kinds of kids are Spider Woman and Porcupine gonna have? 8-legged spiky ones.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Rick.
yeah. So it's more like, you know, like this episode was more of like, if you look at it, how women and men date in their 30s and the troubles that they go through, especially the issues that women go through. Especially that scene was a little bit pushing that boundary when he's actually taking a photo of Jen when she's asleep and she's naked, like
Yeah.
without her consent, without anything. So
Yeah.
that was a little bit creepy, pushing that boundary of what women actually go through in day-to-day life. So
That was super creepy, I thought, which I guess was
Yeah.
the vibe they were going for.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't trust Josh's.
I mean, especially when he's doing that. I got the blood for the thing.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
I
you
have
know.
to say, whenever I first saw the username on his phone, I thought it said Hulkling.
Me too.
That's my
Me too.
dyslexia acting.
Me too.
I was
It's
just
like
like,
the whole
Baby
Hulk
Hulk,
with
do
the
do do
crown.
do do, baby Hulk, do do do. All right.
So
I
let me throw
thought
something
Hulkling
at
was a
y'all.
scroll. What the heck?
Let me throw something at y'all. So now
Do
we
it.
know since we got the obvious reveal of who Josh. Going back to where we first saw the Wrecking Crew, the gentleman in the ski mask, the only one who was masked up the whole time. Could that have been Josh?
Quite
Very
likely.
possible.
Possibly.
Because he
Now,
never
now,
took
now,
his
now I
mask
gotta
off.
zoom in on his face.
Yes,
I gotta-
now I gotta go back and do some investigative work. But just throwing that out there.
Possibly. Yeah. You'd have to match up his voice as well because he did speak.
It might
and then
He
be.
did have a line to say,
Or
yeah.
It
Good
might
point.
be Joe's guess where it's Mephisto.
Yeah.
Or it was Ralph Boner, either one.
One of them.
You know he's got hard times right now.
You got it.
I would very much like for a character like Josh, and when they progress to actually have larger roles and ties to other characters, that always makes me happy because then I wonder what else spins out of the story. So I would love to know that he's not just some dark web aficionado of the intelligentsia. If he actually is going to be a recurring character, I think it'd be great if he was part of the Wrecking Crew. Even if he's a completely different character, if he's another obscure character like the Mad Thinker, or or just
Clockwork or something.
what if he's the Red Ghost? If he's
Oh,
the
yeah.
Red Ghost, that would of course mean that he would need like some moon apes to have with him. But this is the show for moon apes. We've got porcupines and man bulls, so. Anything is possible. But I do want to know if Josh is someone is he just Josh? Is he just a dangerous Josh, or is he something more?
Yeah, I don't understand why he cloned her phone. Like, why was he downloading off her phone? Like, what would she have on her phone?
I mean, she's
That's
a lawyer, so she
important.
might
Yeah,
have
she might
some
have. Mhm.
legal documents or maybe whereabouts of Bruce if they're really looking for Bruce.
Yeah,
I mean,
Could also be the competing law firm wants their own Hulk as a lawyer. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm just saying she is in the superhero law division, so she could have
Good point.
a lot of other powered individuals. So that may be it.
Plus, she's had a lot of cases off screen that we haven't seen. If she's nominated for Lawyer of the Year, I mean, when did that come about?
Could a regular man impregnate She-Hulk? No, but I think She-Hulk could impregnate a regular man.
Your mom
Maybe.
has a lot of questions.
Yes,
My mom does.
A lot of fascinating
many
and
questions.
uncomfortable questions.
Yeah. You
Might
guys
even be a
should have
member
got
of the
the
intelligentsia.
right. You guys
Why
should
do you
have.
want to know so much about She-Hulk's biology?
You should have been getting her text messages about the stuff I couldn't publish on the internet. Like, Mom, what are you asking me that for?
I feel like in this episode specifically, felt like the most Marvel show since we first got the Avengers and we were like, wow, look at all these guys. This is great. It's just like the comics. But with all the C-list characters, it gave me the vibe that we now know there's other heroes just wandering around, heroes and villains just wandering around, with respect to shows like Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I feel like the villains or the antagonists and protagonists are all super spies or super soldiers. This feels like the first Marvel property that just had people in costume that don't get movies or anything. They're just out there. They're out there in the world, and I thought this was pretty cool. So that's my free-for-all takeaway for this episode. It really makes
Cranky Boomer with uncomfortable questions. Yes.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm going to come up with a very strange comparison right now. That's why she has questions. Here's my very strange comparison. Does anybody remember that very short-lived, very bad sitcom that was on NBC? I don't know, like 7-8 years ago. It was called Powerless.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. In case you don't remember this, I don't blame you. but it was about regular people living in the DC universe, and it was just what they had to put up with on a daily basis. It was okay. It was kind of flawed. I don't really think they ever took full advantage of the premise, but I feel like She-Hulk is kind of becoming a good version of Powerless, in that we're just seeing how regular people are dealing with the weirdness of living in the Marvel universe. Even though our main character is a She-Hulk, in many ways she's still just a regular person, and she wants to be a regular person, and I dig that about She-Hulk. It's she's fighting against the inevitability and the stereotyping that she has to be a hero stopping these world-shattering events. No, I just want a regular 9-to-5 job. I just want a boyfriend. I don't want to be here while my car is waiting to get towed. I dig that kind of stuff. I wish we could see more of that kind of stuff. I kind of wish Marvel would do a version of Powerless just with regular people in the Marvel universe. How would the snap have affected just regular people?
Well, I did think
I dig that kind of stuff.
I did think that's what Damage Control was leading to. I'm not sure if we're going to get a Damage Control show or not, but they definitely had a comic. So I'm interested in seeing if that happens. And while I didn't see Powerless, I'm just going to agree with you anyway, because I'm going to praise anything that Alan Tudyk is in.
Absolutely. He was hilarious in that
He's
show.
a goat. He's a god.
Yes, he is.
Billy, you're showing so much more movement now. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. And I feel special because people actually remembered that show Powerless. I know, it's amazing.
I remember everything that Alan Tudyk is in. Everything.
I just couldn't remember the name of the show. I was talking to somebody about it the other day, and I was like, I really can't remember the name of that show, man. But
I just remember the opening titles were so awesome.
Yes.
How they would show the DC panels, and they'd zoom in on somebody in the background, and that would be one of our characters.
Isn't that how the Ang Lee Hulk movie went though?
No, the Ang Lee Hulk movie was worse than Powerless. If you can believe
at least
that.
this one had a sense of humor, and it was tied to Batman of all things, of course.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to all
right then.
So since Billy, since you're back, what did you think of the episode? Let's go rehash everything.
All right. As I said, I kind of liked that it was kind of like some of the shows, like the Patrick Warburton version of The Tick, and a little
That's
bit
what you meant.
Powerless.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like
stealing your thunder.
Yeah, I know. I've been breaking up.
Well, now that you said that, we're on to our final thoughts. And
Bye.
Do we not have a title card for this one?
I don't think we have a
nice
final thoughts.
No,
I'm gonna get kicked out, aren't
we'll
I?
just put up a picture of Jerry Springer and
What was that?
That worked.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Intro, outro.
But as we do begin to wrap this up, are there any final thoughts that anyone has, predictions that they have for the next episode? Is this the episode that we finally get what everyone's been waiting for, the appearance of Frogman?
And Frogman will be Mephisto.
And Billy, I'm gonna let you go first because we've waited so long to hear you.
And
Don't freeze up now.
Billy, it's your chance, man.
You blew it, man. You blew it.
Enter in your thoughts on the chat.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
I might have to go to the chat again.
All right.
All right. We did post the title cards. We did post them.
Okay.
I am using them. You missed it. Come on, man. You missed it. I posted all of those things. Everybody saw that. I had title cards.
He absolutely did show.
Thank you.
He does not have a final thoughts one.
Yeah, you got to make a final thoughts one. I did all the other ones. Okay.
All right. So Jason.
Yes.
You let us know what predictions for the future for your next episode. What are you excited for? What do you think's going to happen?
I'm not going to predict where they go first. First of all, I think that it's useless at this point to predict where She-Hulk's going to go, because whenever you think you got it figured out, they throw a wedding or something like that. All I know is Daredevil will show up, Frogman will show up, and that's all I got. That's all I got. I'm
It might
honestly,
be a beach episode.
I'm honestly thinking that Daredevil's going to be in the show for 2 minutes tops because
just
they
for the trailer.
know that's going to make everybody upset. That is their game right now. They're trying to make as many insecure people as upset as possible. And I'm on board for it because I honestly think it would be the most hilarious thing ever. You know, if he were to flip onto that roof, land in front of Jen, turn around and go, "Is this 7th and Wilshire? No, this is 8th and Broadway. Oh, sorry," and walks off.
Oh wow, that would be fun.
I would love
No,
that.
he's gonna say that he's D-Man.
I'm still waiting for the appearance of D-Man. It'll happen one day.
Like,
We got the
D-Man,
porcupine.
Demon, Mephisto confirmed.
Joe, expectations for next week.
I don't have any because because I know better. You know, like this show is. You think it's gonna go right, and then it goes backwards. So, like, I definitely am not gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this is what's gonna happen," and I'm gonna lay out. No, I'm just gonna be excited to what they produce next week because I know it's gonna be quality, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm literally like debating with our producer who's like, "Wait a minute, you know, did you use the bumpers?" Yes, I used them.
Don't argue with him now.
You have to go back. You mentioned my name, so I'm gonna bring it up.
Just
The greatest
the comments
ever.
are
Can
there.
we,
You don't have to put them on the screen.
Yeah, just so.
Rick, moving on. Moving on. Rick, anything? Do we finally get to learn who's in the intelligentsia? Who is the Hulkling? Do we find that out next episode?
No, I don't think we'll find out next episode. I obviously I know. I think Daredevil definitely last episode. I feel that we're going to see or hear from Hulk. He's coming back in some way. I reckon Jen's going to reach out. We know the next 2 episodes is going to ramp up, and there's just going to be chaos. So that is my thoughts.
All right. Beezus, the lawman, attorney of dance. Bring us your special legislative skills.
I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit. I'm gonna say we get Mr. Murdoch at the very, 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 very end of the next episode, going into the final episode, and that's it.
So it's still 2 minutes, but the last 2 minutes.
The last 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. They were like, "Oh, there he is," and end of the episode, they're gonna cut it right there. So he kind of turns his head a little bit. They'll cut it on us. Like, "Oh, come on, guys." That's what I think they're doing. Just piss everybody off.
Yes. This show
Billy,
this
you
show
always
loves
have
to
some
make
weird
people
thing to
mad,
say
and
at the
it's so
end.
good at it.
Oh yeah, I just know that we're gonna get the season finale. Frogman, an entire episode, just Frogman, nothing but Frogman.
The final episode is gonna be the
And
team
Ralph
up.
Boner.
That's it.
Those will be our 2 things.
I knew I could count on you, Billy, right at the end.
Right at the end, come through. Yeah, and he didn't freeze, which is
Just
even
like
better.
Daredevil.
Clutch. He reached his word quota though. I think the next word he speaks is over for him.
Everyone who is watching right now, thank you for watching. If you have any predictions, please let us know in the comments. If there's a subject that we have not touched on that you felt we should have, just go ahead and share it in the comments below. Really helps us out in the algorithm. And if you want to see next week's episode, be sure to subscribe, hit the little bells, depending on what platform you're watching this on. Just hit all the buttons. That's the way to make sure you always get content from here at the Spectrum Sanctorum. For Rick, for Billy, for Jason, for Joe, for myself, and special guest Beezus, thank you all for coming, and see you next week.
It was a free for all. See, I used the bumper. Take care, everybody.
Take care.